Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Oh, come on, guys. What happened? Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? That's better. My name is Andy. I'd like to welcome you to SkyPerfect Communications and our partner in technology, Sony. Now, we all know that more television programming is available today than ever has been before. There's so many programs out there to watch. But of course, finding the program you want can be pretty exasperating, right? You got to dig through all the programs you don't want to see to find that needle in the haystack, the one you do want to see. Now, even as broadcasters, you too are viewers, so you probably go through this yourselves, right? The same frustrations as your viewers. Well, we are going to show you how you can turn ordinary, frustrating, time-consuming TV into perfect TV, SkyPerfect TV. And we're going to do it with the Digital Economy Guide. That's our brand new personal favorite service. Now, SkyPerfect Communications and Sony, we think it's time to see how you can utilize user information to help your customers and your advertisers make better use of their time, better use of their money. Now, most people watch TV every day, right? But we all have very different tastes. So we're going to meet one TV watcher named John. He's sort of our typical viewer. And we're going to use the Economy Guide to help him find the program he wants. Hey, John, we're going to create a personal profile just for you. We're going to find some programs you might like based on what you tell us about yourself, your likes and dislikes, and then from the programs we find, you can select the one that you want. So go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Okay, I'm 32, a systems engineer. I earn about $68,000 a year, and some of my hobbies are hunting, fishing, and nature photography. Is that enough?
Well, that's great, John. Let's go ahead and see how to narrow down the kind of programs that would interest John. So, John, go ahead and take out your mobile phone. That's my boy. Okay, you're going to select a program category that interests you. Now, keep in mind, we're actually looking at the TV screen, but on John's mobile phone for the type of show he wants to watch.
Documentaries.
All right, well, documentaries is a wonderful choice. Let's go ahead and select that and see what comes next. All right, John, now what type of documentary would you like? We've got ancient history and space.
I like animals and nature.
Okay, very nice choice as well. Let's choose that. And now we get to choose the favorite part of the world.
I'm dying to do a safari one day in Kenya. So let's go with Africa.
Africa is it. So, out of about 10,000 programs that John could watch, the Economy Guide in just a few seconds has narrowed those options down to these 5 programs that John would like based on what he told us about his viewing preferences. So, what do you think, John? Which one would you like to go for?
Can I watch National Geographic?
Well, absolutely. Now, John, all he has to do, since all that information is already on his cell phone, now that he has it, he just picks the show he wants to watch, he dials it up on his remote control, and boom, just like that, he is off and watching that show. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, of course, any of you guys or your customers can select any category you want, not just documentaries, and we will create a lineup of shows that match your preference and your tastes. Now, not only does this guide help John a lot find the programming that he wants, but it also helps you if you're an advertiser, because you get to link up and show John exactly the kind of ads that would appeal to him. So, for example, John's told us that he likes photography. So, the guide creates an ad for digital camera and pops it right down there at the bottom of his cell phone screen. So that ad is targeted to John and John's interests. That's kind of cool. Not bad for targeted marketing, right? All right, so John, what do you think?
Wow, this is great. It's so easy.
Oh, definitely it is, John. That's right. But the Economy Guide works in other ways, too. Let me show you guys. We're going to bring up somebody else to do our next example. Let's talk to Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, why don't you tell us what your TV preferences are?
I'm not really dedicated to a specific show. I just flip through the channels to find something that interests me. Mostly, I like serious dramas, so I'm forever flipping around looking for something that looks good.
Well, forever flipping around. This is classic. I mean, Stephanie is always changing channels, trying to find a program she likes. In fact, she spends more time changing channels trying to find the program than she does actually enjoying the program once she finds it. Now, like John, we can do a personal guide and she'd be all set. But let's try something else this time. Hey, Stephanie, what kind of mood are you in right now? What kind of programming are you looking for?
It's funny you say mood, as I've really been stressed today, so I'm not in the mood for one of my serious dramas.
Okay, Stephanie, no problem. Why don't you go ahead and look at your phone? Now, you can scroll through and select programs you might like. That's how we did it before. But instead, this time, why don't you select a mood or a feeling you want to have? Are you content right now? Are you frustrated? Are you relaxed?
I want escape. Maybe a soap opera with twists where I can just be entertained. No deep thinking. A little romance, a little fun.
Okay. Fun sounds pretty good. We can do romance too. Now here's what the intuitive mood select feature came up with as an escape for Stephanie. Now keep in mind, when we did this with John, we were doing it based on the content that John wanted. Now we're doing the same type of search based on her mood, based on the emotions involved in the setup. And based on that mood that Stephanie said she has right now, we've come up with a lineup of possible shows for her. We've got everything from Sex in the City at 8 o'clock, Desperate Housewives, Nip Tuck, and even Las Vegas, which of course is Sex in the City, but in a different city. So, what do you say, Stephanie?
Ah, Nip Tuck, I've heard of it. It's full of twists. Let me watch that.
Ooh, it's in Japanese. There's a twist. In the economy guide, match the profile of the viewer to the programming so precisely. Well, each program has its very own DNA mapping based on the content of and the style of that program. Now that gives it a particular shape. You see all of these different shapes showing up inside the grid, and then when you line them up one on top of the other, what you're doing is sort of creating a total boundary. And inside that boundary is all the programming Stephanie would like, and outside it is the stuff she wouldn't like. You see how we're creating that? Now, let's say you like romance movies, but you only like romance when it has a historical theme. Well, a program like Sex in the City has romance, but no history. That means its DNA, or part of that DNA, falls outside of her area of interest. You guys can see how the bottom right corner here sort of falls almost off the grid entirely, and that means that that program would not be recommended to Stephanie. But a movie like Gone with the Wind, represented right here, that has history and romance. So now we're in Stephanie's ballpark. This is something she might like, and this program gets recommended. You guys still with me? All right. Now, the economy guide in total offers 3 major benefits. First, it offers that specific personalized program selection. That's what you saw with John. Also, it can provide programs that match your mood, as we did with Stephanie. But there's one more, and this is the most important one I'm going to mention, because this is the one that puts money in the broadcaster's pocket. All right? You guys interested now? This is the ability to provide targeted advertising that works directly in combination with the interests of the viewer. And it works really well. And you know what? I'm going to show you what I mean. Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Robinson family. We've got Bob, we've got Julie, we've got little Dexter over here. Now Bob is 42. He works for a large internet company, and he loves golf, he loves electronics, lots of different interests. So as expected, the content that you see on Bob's economy guide that shows up on his cell phone reflects those different interests. You can see golf, baseball, news, financial news, but look at the bottom here, look down here. The advertising that shows up for Bob is tailored to Bob's interest. We've got an ad here for a Sony MP3 player that directly relates to Bob's interest in technology and consumer electronics. So we're putting in something that's right in Bob's wheelhouse that he'd be interested in buying. You guys follow me? All right, the same goes for little Dexter. He plays soccer, he loves track and field, he loves computer games. Check out his content guide. Now with this information, we can put in ads for Dexter that relate to soccer teams, video games, sports camp, outdoor athletic events, things like that. And I'm telling you guys, Dexter's going to be begging his parents in no time for these babies right there. Ooh, 99 bucks. He's been stashing his allowance money. So, you guys can see how this vertical marketing could be used to target the audience that would be most likely to buy it. And in turn, I mean, that creates a bonanza for advertisers. That's exactly what advertisers are always looking for. A way to market to the exact right people who are most likely to buy their product. And that's what we provide here. So, just to recap. SkyPerfect communication service means no more channel surfing. It means faster searching for your favorite programs. It means program selection based on your mood. And it means advertising based on your customers' interests. Guys, this is a win-win for everybody. Folks, this digital economy guide is in its final stages of development. It'll be launched in Japan by the end of the year. If you'd like to keep in touch with us, we'd love that. Go to the front desk, you can register with our hostesses, and we will keep updating you with news as it happens. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Hang around, talk to us. Enjoy the rest of the show.